Everybody, Matt from Nerd Nights Painting, episode 12, I think, of Munchkin Dungeon. We're going to be trying to knock these out before Aetherfields and Bloodborne come out. So I'm going to be doing a series of the last couple videos. If you ever requested what you want, let's get it going. Ugly piece of red into this okay-looking model. I don't really care for the model, but I figured this would be a quick and easy one to get out there if anybody had any ideas how they want to do it. This is it. It's your first time stopping by the channel. Hey, hit that subscribe button. We got a bunch of stuff coming up, and I want to grow this channel. Let's keep it going big. We're going to be using the card art. This is from the Kickstarter. If you didn't do the Kickstarter, you might not have this piece. But if you do, hey, let's go. Let's get it. As always, the first thing we're going to do is scrape off those mold lines. I found this one didn't really have any. Only a couple, which was a shock. So just scrape them off real quick. Once they're scraped off, I'm using a airbrush. Primer black on this to get a nice little undertone. If you want to use a spray paint, that'll be quicker because an airbrush is a pain. It takes a while, and the cleaning process, and it always gets clogged, and yada, yada, yada. It just, my airbrush people know what I'm talking about. So hit that up with black and get the whole thing underneath, everything spray painted, even underneath the top of the gazebo. Now, if you don't have an airbrush, that's okay. We can still use paint for this. A brush and paint, it's just going to take a lot longer. I'm just trying to save time and knocking these out beforehand. Once we're done with the black, we're going to be using a primer gray. I'm using the Vallejo primer gray for the top coat. If you don't have this, just use a gray spray paint, and that'll give it the same type of look. We're just trying to get that black undercoat. That's why we did black beforehand. So cruise around and make sure you're spraying the entire thing. If you want to leave underneath the top of the gazebo black, do that. Once it's fully dry, it should look just like this. Alright, I'm going to be using Dawnstone, and I use Airbrush Flow Improver. And we're going to be spraying the entire model with the Dawnstone. Now, if you're using a brush, go ahead and just brush Dawnstone on. It's just going to be a little bit more pain because it's going to be a flat surface, so you're going to need 2 to 3 coats. Once that Dawnstone is fully on and fully dry, we're going to be using Eshin Grey by Citadel. You don't have to use that specific color, but if you want to use something similar to that, go ahead. And we're going to be spraying very seldom parts of the model. If we're looking at the card art, you can tell by the left eye, it's a darker color, top of the gazebo. The pillars are darker, and the bottom of the gazebo is lighter, so we're going to keep that light. So hit those top portions and the flat pieces that are facing out as well as you're following this video. This step probably would be easier with a paintbrush, but I just was trying to get this knocked out as soon as possible and figure if you guys didn't have any ideas on how to paint this, this is a quick idea how to do it. After you're all done spraying it, it should look something like this. For the Geico money eyes is what I call them. If you don't know what I'm talking about, Google that. That was probably 10 years ago. Geico had a series of commercials where it was the money eyes. It looks just like it. We're going to hit those with just flat white. For the top of the 2 steps, we're going to be using Celestra Grey for the 2 steps on top. You might need a couple coats for it. For the handlebars, we're just going to be using straight black. And then we're going to go up to the next step that sucks. It's probably the worst and hardest part of this entire thing. We're going to be utilizing a technique called edge highlighting to hit all of the edges. As you can see in the card art, there is a boxed black art around every edge on the miniature. So we're going to go around the entire miniature and do that exact thing. This is a pain. This sucks. I know. You could skip it if you want, but it makes it look a little bit better. If we mess up on the black in any form, just go back with either the Dawnstone or the Eshin Grey and just make the lines a little bit straighter. There was a point that I got tired of making the line straighter and just said, F it. This is what it is. It's fine. So just take your time, hit that nice 3-point gripping stance, I guess you could say, and get all the edges of the miniature. We're going to do the Geico Money Eyes next. Now, don't worry about getting every single piece because we're going to use Nulin Oil to fill in the divots around the eyes for the pupils here in a second. Once you've gotten the vast majority of the eye pupil in, get a nice healthy brush full of Nulin Oil and just put it into the pupil and it will push it around the eye into the lower divot. And the last and final step, we're going to use Mechanicus Standard Gray for the bottom. It's pretty gray model, pretty ugly, but this is a quick video I wanted to throw together as I was kind of busy this week and wanted to get it out, even though probably 20 people are going to watch it. And that's basically it. You can go back more, as I did off camera, and kind of fill in some extra points to make it a little bit better looking, so the black isn't kind of spilled over as much onto the miniature. But it's not terrible. It's not good either, but it's fine. But just a quick and easy way to get it some paint thrown on so it's just not a red blob. As always, thank you so much for watching these videos. I can't thank you enough for taking time out of your busy day to follow along with what I'm doing here. If you're new here and you're watching the end portion of this video, go ahead and hit the subscribe button. We got a lot of more in-depth miniature painting coming up. I'm just getting some easy tutorials out for the time being. So go ahead and hit that subscribe, and thank you for watching. All right, paint on.